Hey, we are two Star Wars nerds, and we're back with another Star Wars Wisdom Talk.
Yay.
We've been really enjoying going through the Clone Wars and just looking at these really great, beginning quotes that they have.
So cool.
So
that
I'm
they
gonna.
added them in.
It is. It's unique to Star Wars, and it's pretty cool. But I'm gonna read this, and then we're just gonna get talking about it. And so let's read this. This is from Season 1, Episode 12 of the Clone Wars animated series. And it says, fail with honor rather than succeed by fraud. That's really good. Fail with honor rather than succeed by fraud. So, Mrs., why don't you start us off with this?
The first thing I think of when I read this quote is about integrity. And integrity is such an important thing, and I think a lot of people don't value it because they are more interested in how they look and being seen as successful, when the reality is you're not successful if you're a fraud. Like, you're not. I think integrity and authenticity, like, those are the things that make you successful, because eventually if you're fraudulent, like, it's going to be brought to light and it's not going to end well for you. So it's better to, even when you fail, to do it with honor and be like, yeah, I messed up, or I failed, rather than try to cover it up and force a success that isn't really there.
Yeah, and you know, I think what's important about integrity too is it's understanding that you are the same person in public as you are in private.
Yes.
That it doesn't matter who's in front of you, you literally are the same person. And I think it's really important to note that, you know, we've all been created for a unique purpose. We've all been created for a special plan for, you know, our lives. We have dreams and desires that are placed within us.
Right.
And I think we should just be true to that. And what a lesson I had to learn is that I'm a really poor Keely. I'm a really poor Mrs. Two Star Wars Nerds. I'm terrible trying to be her, and she's terrible trying to be me.
Yep.
Instead, we've just embraced who we are as individuals, and that has freed us to really express ourselves the only way we can, you know. And, you know, I want to talk about this fail with honor. You know, I think it's important to really redefine success.
Yes.
I think so many people think success is about numbers, it's about money. It's
not messing up.
Yeah.
Not failing. When in reality, failing is a part of success.
Absolutely. And, you know, even you look at people like Thomas Edison and how many times he failed to invent the light bulb. You look at how many times Walt Disney was rejected, J.K. Rowling, even George Lucas. You look at how many times these individuals failed.
But we look at them and we see success.
Yeah. And I've heard this quote that basically says something like this. This is my paraphrase, but basically don't compare like your chapter 3 to somebody's end of their book.
Right.
You know, like, don't compare your chapter 3 to somebody's chapter 16 kind of a thing. Because it's really easy to see people on Instagram or see them on YouTube or on TV or wherever, and you're like, man, they've got it together, they're successful, and like, I'm never there. When in reality, we don't see the thousands of times that they've failed to get there. And so, I mean, what do you think with that whole idea of like learning to fail towards success, learning to fail forward, and doing that honorably? Like, what does that look like day to day?
I think failing is actually important, because if you're failing, that means you're taking risks and you're growing and you're learning and you're adapting. If you're not failing, it means you're not doing anything. So you have to fail so you can learn and become better. We're not just born as these perfect human beings who have everything together. Like, it's okay to fail. It's part of being a human, and it's our job to just learn from our failures. How failing is how you can fail with success is by learning and not letting it keep you down, because from every failure there's a lesson, and you can say, well, that didn't work, so now I know that doesn't work, and I can do it this way now and try a different way. So I think we have to redefine what failure is, and that failure is not bad. It's a learning process. It's part of our journey, and it's something we're all going to do probably every day.
Yeah, and I think an important distinction too is there's a difference between honorable failure, where you're trying something and you're trying to be inventive, you're trying to create something new, or you're trying to grow yourself and you fail.
Right.
You don't hit that standard that you have set before you. And there's moral failure. We won't go into moral failure, but that's a whole nother thing where it's like you don't want to just be a terrible person and be like,
right.
oh yeah, I failed, but I'm trying something. I'm trying to rip people off.
No.
And I think
It's not what we're
full
talking
circle,
about.
this quote covers that. Fail with honor rather than succeed by fraud. A final thought I have for this Star Wars wisdom talk is our son is 10 months old right now, and he's getting ready to walk.
Yeah.
So close.
Crazy.
He can pull himself up and move super quick by grabbing onto things, and he scurries all day long. But here's the thing. When he starts to walk, just for a minute, imagine I'm looking at my son, and he gets up to his feet, he tries to take a step or two, and he falls down on his face. I wouldn't say, son, you do not have the gift of walking. You are a failure.
Never try
You
that again.
are a loser. You were just meant to crawl your entire life. Like, that is so wrong on so many levels. But instead what parents do is they champion their kids.
Yes.
No, you can do it. You can do it. And,
And you celebrate those 2 steps.
Yeah.
You celebrate the victory. You can always find victory.
And even when he falls, like now when he's standing up and he falls, we like clap and we cheer.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh yeah, I did something. Like, this is cool.
Yeah.
But what's awesome is he sees our success, so to speak, with walking. And he's like, oh, I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And this hunger is in him to be like, okay, I was made to walk. I will walk.
Yeah.
And I think simply what we need to do is just look at failing just like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to find people who will celebrate our failure.
Mm-hmm.
Just because when we are failing towards something, it means, like you said, we're taking risk. We're actually trying to do something.
Yeah.
We're trying to change our life and change the life of those around us.
Yep.
So any last words of wisdom that you have for this wisdom talk?
Yeah, I think we can actually learn a lot from babies because, just having one, you see how persistent they are, and it's something that's put on us as children, and as we become adults, it kind of fades away because I think we've failed so much and we've been rejected. But I think we need to go back to that childlikeness. Say, I'm going to keep trying. Even if I keep falling, I'm going to walk one day. I got this. And so I think just watching my son encourages me. He does not dang it, I should just give up. He's like, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing his persistence, I'm like, that's what we're created to do. If he can do that at 10 months old, I should be able to do that at 30.
Ain't that the truth? That is so good. Well, with that, this is our Star Wars Wisdom Talk, is a series that we truly, truly love. We're hoping that this would take the world of Star Wars and use that as a bridge to help us just share, our hearts for helping people grow.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, that's what we really want.
Yeah.
But 2 things. We are really close to a 250 sub giveaway, and we also have a Discord that is a lot of fun. And so if you're interested in either of those things, you can subscribe or join the Discord in the link below. And there's just a lot of cool stuff going on in there especially. But with that, we are 2 Star Wars nerds, and may the Force be with you always.